Hi gang, hope everybody's doing wonderful out there. Now it's late, well in fact very late Saturday night, and I've got to be up and about early on a Sunday morning. What was I thinking? Well, I actually think about going on an adventure, and that will be in fact leaving here quite early in the morning, heading to Southampton Central Railway Station, but not to catch a train, but to catch a bus. And that bus will take me to somewhere in Southampton docks, where I'll be catching a ship, a steamship, in fact a paddle steamship, as far as I'm aware, the only remaining paddle steamship still in service, a ship called the Waverley. I've never been on this before. I've been on another steamship which is called the Shieldhall, which is based in Southampton, but the Waverley, I think it's based up in Scotland, but it travels around the UK, and I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be quite a unique experience. And I'd like to say a big thank you to two anonymous people who no doubt would not want me to say who they are, but they're very kindly taking me, or paying for me to go there. I'm going to go with them as well. But so I'm looking forward to this. So thank you very much to Mr. and Mrs. Anonymous. And but yeah, I'll be going on the Waverley, and this is actually what the itinerary is: leaving Southampton, heading up Southampton Water, then going to Yarmouth on the Isle of Wight. Now, if I wanted to, I can get off there and do some sort of excursion, but quite frankly, I live in Southampton. The Isle of Wight is not too difficult to get to, a bit expensive, mind you, but not too difficult to get to. And I'll be in Yarmouth later on in the year anyway. So I thought, well, you know, I'd rather stay on the ship. It's, you know, it's the first time I've ever been on the Waverley. I want to, you know, enjoy just being out on the water on this unique ship. And then from Yarmouth, it goes along the coast to a sea town that I must admit I really like this place, called Swanage. But again, I've been there before, and I kind of want to stay on the Waverley because, you know, I've never been on the Waverley before. It gives me a chance to get round to do hopefully some good filming. And then from Swanage, so some of the people might go off onto the steam trains. Again, I was so tempted to do that because I really like doing that as well. Nope, stay on the Waverley way. This is what this whole video is about. And then from Swanage, going to go round to the coast to, now I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right, Diddledore? I think I might have said it right. Oh, wow. And then it'll turn back again, go back to Swanage, pick up the people that he dropped off, back to Yarmouth on the Isle of Wight, pick up those people, and then finally back to Southampton at about sort of 8:30, I think it was. If I'm wrong, well, you'll know because the itinerary's right there. I can't see it at the moment. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I really need to get some sleep because I need to make sure that I am there on time, because I can't just go to the docks. I have to be picked up by a bus. So let's go have some fun.
Taking our last two shuttle buses from the station, ladies and gentlemen. Once those passengers are on board, we'll get underway for today's cruise to Yarmouth, Swanage and Dorset's Jurassic coast. For your information, ladies and gentlemen, the dining saloon will be serving hot breakfast rolls as well as hot meals throughout the day. You'll find our dining saloon downstairs and aft on the main deck. Late snacks, teas and coffees are also available from the dining saloon, as well as from the Waverley's Caledonia tea room, which you'll find on the main aft deck, behind the funnels in the aft deck shelter, with stronger alcoholic refreshments available from the Genie Beans forward lounge, which you'll find downstairs and forwards. Waverley also has our very own souvenir shop, which will be open throughout the day for the service of exclusive Waverley gifts, souvenirs and merchandise. Waverley is also powered by a 2,100 horsepower triplet fan steam engine. It's open to full public display downstairs and chips on the main deck, so definitely want to see that if you haven't done so already. Many passengers do require to purchase any tickets for today's sailing, or if you require to collect any prepaid tickets or exchange anything for tickets, the purchase office will be open once we get underway after the all-important safety announcement, so please do listen out for this.
They took us to Niagara Falls on the American side. It was so cold, like -20 something, as the water sprays into the skin. And all the ice spoke in the car and up those buildings. I said, if you want, we've got time, we go across on the Canada side. Across the bridge.
As we start to make our way away from the dock down towards Southampton Water and then onwards to the Isle of Wight, I was a bit concerned about today really, because the weather has been a bit hit and miss lately, more mist than anything else, and the events here on the Waverley have been cancelled because of the rain. So I'm very pleased right now that so far so good, not bad for September. Now there are paddles on the left and right side of the ship, and I'm told you can actually go down and look through the window and see the paddles in motion. So we'll do that as we go along on our journey.
I'd like to welcome you aboard Waverley, the last seagoing paddle steamer anywhere in the world. For today's cruise to Yarmouth, Swanage, and cruise along Dorset's Jurassic coast, viewing Longworth Cove and Brundle Door. For your comfort and safety, we ask all passengers to please listen carefully to the following safety announcement. In the unlikely event of an emergency, an alarm signal consisting of 7 or more short blasts, followed by 1 longer blast, will be sounded on the ship's whistle and alarm bells. On hearing this signal, you should proceed immediately to the nearest assembly station, identified by square green and white signs with arrows pointing inwards to a sign depicting a family group. At an assembly station, you will be issued with a life jacket and instructed on how to wear it. Smaller life jackets are available for children. At all times, you should remain calm and follow the instructions of crew. Please take care as you move around the ship today, and always use the handrails on the stairways. Children should be supervised at all times and never lifted above the height of the ship's rails. Personal belongings should not be left unattended, and please do not throw rubbish overboard. Make use of the waste and recycling bins provided. Many thanks for your attention, ladies and gentlemen. We do hope you enjoy your time on board Waverley today. If there are any passengers requiring to purchase any tickets for today's sailing, or if you require to collect any prepaid tickets or exchange anything for tickets, the purchase office will be opening shortly, and you'll find the purchase office on the promenade deck just behind the funnels. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you're booked for the Swanage railway excursion, you do require to collect a railway voucher for your access to the railway today. This can also be done at the purchase office, which once again is on the promenade deck just behind the funnels. Many thanks again for your attention, and do enjoy your time. Thank you.
Now just over there is actually Mayflower Park. Can't really see it at the moment because it's being used for the event of Southampton's boat show. And this year I actually did for a brief moment think about going to that event, but then I thought, you know what, I can't afford anything that's there. Tickets are ridiculously priced, and I can't really, can't justify that sort of paying that sort of money for that sort of thing. And so even for just to make a video for the channel, it just wasn't worth it for me. So I hope you enjoy it from afar. But if you did go, let me know what you thought of it. Was it worth the price? I don't know if you heard during the video at all, there is actually a tour guide, I guess that's what you call him, that telling you a little bit about what's in the area, a bit of history. But to be honest with you, it's a little bit difficult to hear. Sometimes it's very clear, sometimes it's not. I guess it's part of, due to the wind and the speakers as well. And I'm talking here at the moment as well, so there's lots of reasons why I can't hear it. I've actually heard that the Waverley hasn't had the greatest of seasons. They've had to cancel some events, some journeys and that, mainly due to the weather, I believe, and also had to take a major detour to get down to the south coast for the south coast events due to the weather, which of course added a lot of cost on their journey. Getting a bit gusty here at the moment, but that hasn't stopped all those people here in Yarmouth as we are about to dock, and they're all ready to embark, I think that's the word, onto the ship for the next part of this cruise. Well, there is one of White Link's car ferry services. It leaves Lymington, goes to the Isle of Wight, to Yarmouth, and if all goes to plan, I will be taking that journey in November. I'm coming over the Isle of Wight for a week. Only trouble is, at the moment, I'm hearing there are possible strikes on the horizon, and although it would make an interesting video, no doubt, I'd much rather just have a nice, no problems journey to the Isle of Wight in November. And in fact, I'm going to be taking the train from Southampton to Brockenhurst, and Brockenhurst to Lymington Harbour, and then hopefully on one of those ships. Time will tell. Although there are many more people on the ship, it still doesn't feel overly crowded, which is quite nice, really quite surprising. Now, if you are on the Isle of Wight at some time in the future, there, just to our left there is Allen Bay, which is on top of the cliffs, and they've got like a kids area there. There's an area we can buy glass. They actually show you how it's made as well, and there's a restaurant and all sorts of that sort of thing there. And also you can go down on one of these what they call them, ski lift kind of things, which take you to the bottom of the cliff, and sometimes there's a boat there which will take you out around the Allen Bay and round to the Needles, which is just over there on our right, which has a lighthouse, which is now all, sadly nobody lives there anymore, but it's all what they call automatic these days. And also at the top of the cliff on our left is a fort. I can't remember what it's called at the moment, but I've been there quite a few years ago. I remember going up on a bus, and it seemed very edgy because I was at the top of the bus and looking down at the cliff. I thought, okay, this is different, a bit dangerous, but definitely pretty cool. So yeah, if you get a chance when you're on the Isle of Wight next, do check Allen Bay out, and it's great to see it, the whole area from this side of where we are right now, on the water.
I walked down, you go with Dad, but I weren't too keen. Cheers.
Now, some maybe useless information for you, but that big space there, I'm told that there was also once a rock there, but in a bad storm many years ago, it finally fell down into the sea. I've been coming to the Isle of Wight for so many years, and I've been around this area, but to see this from this angle is marvellous. Well, I must admit I was starting to feel a bit chilly for on this journey, but the sun has come out and it's reminded me that yes, it's September, but it's technically still summer, and I'm enjoying some warmth.
Last time I did it, it was £5. £5 for a roasting
Ladies and gentlemen, Waverley will shortly be arriving at Swanage here. With many passengers having time ashore in Swanage, those of you for the Swanage Railway, please prepare to disembark. In the interest of safe daily and all passengers, please be aware that there may be some sudden movement as the ship's there. Thank you for the cruise around the Jurassic coast to the...
My word, there are a lot of people waiting on Swanage Pier to get onto the Waverley. Some are just spectators, but not many of them compared to the amount of people who are going to come on here in just a moment. Those people down there are people that help keep things going on the pier. And after seeing all those people, I think I will wait until later on to do a proper film of the Waverley. So, now, often when ships go past each other, especially with this type of ship, other ships will blow their horn. It's kind of a hello and respectful way to acknowledge each other. And hopefully I'll get a visual of this happening, but every time I try, I've missed it.
pylons are in line with each other. Just have a look at your watch, and then when we pass the second pair further down the coast, we check, and then if you're a good it's not visible at the moment, but down behind the coastline station there is a small chapel that was built up there back in Norman time. As we sail further away from the headland, if you look back towards the head, you should be able to make out the roof of this small chapel. St. Alpine was actually the first bishop of Sherborne.
Yeah, it's a couple of people. Imagination, if you look across at the door, you might think it looks just a little bit like a dinosaur with its head in the water. I'll leave you to work out whether that's true or not. But there we are. There's Durdle
I
Door.
always think it's Nessie.
Yeah, I always think that dragon.
Well, I finally got to see Durdle Door. I think I said that right that time. And we're starting to make our way now back along the coast towards Swanage, and the weather is starting to turn. Although you won't see it in this particular video, I actually filmed the whole journey back from Durdle Door to Swanage, and it was raining, it was freezing cold. I hope it was worth it. Actually, I enjoyed the view, definitely.
I've got some hot chocolate. It's alright with us.
One of the things I've certainly been amazed about on this journey is that how fast this ship can go. Early on there were lots of people up here, but many of them have now gone for cover downstairs. We're coming up towards Hurst Castle there, and I've never actually visited there before. I really must do one day. I believe it's open to the public, and but I've never seen it this close. It's one of the castles, or one of the forts, I don't know how castle fort, what you want to call it. Hurst Castle, let's call it a castle. That was built to defend against the French. Now the ship's emptied up quite a bit. There's still a lot of people here, and the rest of us are heading back to Southampton. It seems like a great time to have a wander around the ship.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this castle. Just joined us at Yarmouth. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last of the passengers requiring a full meal aboard the Waverley this evening. If you require hot dinner aboard the Waverley, can I ask you to please contact the ship's dining facility now. Many thanks.
Go for it. Mark out.
Scotland's flag flying there proudly at the front of the ship. Bearing in mind the mixture of weather today, you know, it's been from sort of hot summer to freezing cold and raining and windy, and now, I mean, we're heading back to Southampton, and the sunset is happening, and it's just absolutely amazing views, and a lot of photographers are really enjoying this, whether they're taking photographs or not, actually. I won't keep talking for the sake of talking, you know. Sometimes it's just nice to see what's going on and the sounds of the water and such like, and Hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. This is the area that you collect your prepaid tickets from, as well as buying tickets for the actual day.
This level.
it won't be long now until we're back in Southampton, so I want to quickly give my overall review of the experience of being on the Waverley, and unsurprisingly, you probably guessed, I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. It's an amazing experience. Not just being on the ship, but also going out to Durdle Door. I think I'm getting it right. Comments, please, if I didn't, so that I know for future reference. And yes, I definitely recommend it. They do excursions from different places. They don't just stay on the south coast. They are going up to London after this particular voyage. And then I believe they're heading back to Scotland again until I think maybe next year. I think it all starts over again. And I'm looking maybe to go up to London in 2026 to join another voyage on the Waverley around the Thames. Now, I can't remember if I've mentioned this already, but they have a shop where you can buy various souvenirs. There's DVDs down there, there's books and all those sort of things. You've got a bar in the area as well as a cafe type of restaurant. And also they serve hot films. I don't know what they serve. Hot films. I don't know. I didn't remember that being on there. Hot meals even. Oh, I've been out in the fresh air too long. Although I've walked around the ship a few times, as the night comes in, the lights go on, various places of the ship, it kind of takes on a different sort of atmosphere. And they're very all positive, of course, but everything looks just, slightly different than that, obviously because of the lighting. And so I've decided to go around the ship once again. Now, as I said before, I did film the trip all the way from Durdle Door and to Swanage, so that's going to be out on the channel Bus Journeys and More in the near future if it's not already out, as well as I plan to do a film of the bus journey from Southampton Docks back to Central Station as well. So all being well, that will be out soon as well. That's if you're into that kind of thing, of course. Well, as you can tell, we're back in the engine room again, and yes, of course, I have already filmed this, but we are about to dock in Southampton now, and so I thought I'd show you what happens when the crew are asked to slow down the ship, and what happens when the engines do finally stop. Hope you enjoy. Well, there you go. That's the end of this particular adventure, the journey on the Waverley. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, give it a like please, and subscribe to the channel if you would like to as well. That'd be amazing if you do. And if you're wondering about, you know, how the ticket sort of system happens or works out, well, they take the ticket from you as you get off the ship. And I was a little bit disappointed in that because I was hoping to keep it as a souvenir, but hey, that's how they do it. So hope you've enjoyed the video. And also, if you like bus journeys, well, this is the beginning of that bus journey back from Southampton docks to Central Railway Station, where I was picked up originally. So that's going to be on the channel very shortly if it's not already there. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for taking the time and interest in this channel, and take care. Bye for now.